Presentation.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about right now, guys, is for training purposes only, and it's really to train the presenters. It's a training for the presenters, and so the first thing we're going to talk about is how you do the front of the presentation. And there's some key points that I always talk about because we always start people by presenting with the front. And so right now we have a few of the marketing directors with me here, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk, and there'll be some dialogue between us. But again, what we do to that, what are the key points that we need to hit during the front of the presentation? And there's some very, very simple things. The first thing when you're presenting a presentation and you're presenting the front half is remember that the front half is designed, it's a travel product, and so you want to be excited because travel is exciting. So again, I'm going to start out with always the first thing is be excited. Your job is to get the group excited about being somewhere that they currently aren't. So if we're in Iowa, let's talk about Mexico, or let's talk about Hawaii, or let's talk about somewhere other than Iowa. Okay, and then once the presentation starts, there's very few points that are really that big a deal, but there's some points that have got to be hit in a big way. The first thing you've got to hit during the presentation, you have to hit it, is you have to explain to people why we're getting significantly discounted travel through our Dream Trips program. So you have got to explain the bulk buying concept. So bulk buying is why we're getting the cheap prices. Most people, when they see our presentation for the very first time, they think that we're getting prices because of the fact that we're getting stuff during the off season, or it's not 4 and 5 star, it's not good stuff. So you want to make sure that you give an example of, hey, listen, if you buy a lot of these markers, you get a cheaper price per marker. And that's exactly how we're getting travel. We're buying a lot of travel, so we're getting it at a cheaper price per unit. Then this is where everybody really seems to not do a good job in the beginning. Is this: you need to do a very good job of leading into the $69 cruise slide. The slide before the $69 cruise slide you have to have memorized. You need to know that the next slide is the $69 cruise slide. So often I see people click on a $69 cruise slide and then say something about bulk buying. You need to say something about bulk buying and say, hey, for example, if you put 500 people on a ship that looks like this is the kind of prices that we can get. Bang, $69. You want the audience to react in a big way to that $69 slide, and the only way for that to happen is for you to lead up to the slide. Don't pop on the slide and then seek the reaction. You've got to expect the reaction because of the way that you led into the slide. The fourth thing, and probably the most important part of your whole front half, is the testimonials. A couple pieces about the testimonials, because we need to get great at that. One, what was the value? In other words, what did you pay compared to retail price? And two, what was the best part of the vacation? People make their stories way too long. That all should last less than 30 seconds. So a great testimonial would be, hey, listen, it was awesome. I got a chance to go to the Caribbean. We went down to Cancun, Mexico. We paid $500 for our trip. That was a savings of about $500 a person. But the coolest part of the trip was when we had a cool VIP party. All of our friends got together. It was just one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I got to bond with a bunch of my friends during that trip. It was just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, World Ventures. So again, what is the value? What is the peak experience you had on the trip? The next thing is you need to lead into the $199. So lead into the price of our product. So often people go, and the product is $200. Well, that they have no frame of reference, so they think of that as expensive. And the great presenters, you know, the guys and gals that are presenting, they're doing a great job. What they'll do is they'll start out at a high price point. So say, listen, you know, if you were going to start your own website to compete with Expedia, and in addition to that, you're going to have your own concierge service. In addition to that, you're going to have a Dream Trips membership. It would cost millions of dollars to do that, to create a company to do that. You know, tens of thousands of dollars a month to maintain. So when I first saw this, I thought, man, this is going to be expensive. So I thought it'd be at least $5,000 or $10,000. When my friend told me it was only, click, $200, I was like, this is unbelievable. This is like brain damage cheap. Again, reduce to the ridiculous. Make the $200 seem very inexpensive. Say it's about 50 cents a day for the year. Very, very inexpensive to own your own website and travel company. The next part, provide value for $55 per month. Again, what we do not want to say is, hey, we don't want to pay monthly fees. No, that's not what we want to say, because that in the back end, that bites us when people don't get their $4 in their first month. What we want to say very simply is, listen, you get a great value for $55 a month. I took one vacation and saved $500. I saved almost my entire year's fees just by taking one vacation. I saved $50 buying a computer, and I saved $80 at Quiznos this year. I saved my whole year's fees just by eating a few Quiznos sandwiches, buying a computer, and taking one trip. Of course I would do it for $55 a month, because there were lots and lots of other ways that I saved money. Just those 3 simple ways, I got the $55 value. I took one vacation and saved $1,500. Well, that's 3 years worth of fees just because I took one vacation. It's a no-brainer. So again, provide value for the $55 a month. And the last, obviously, the most important thing you're going to refer for. You're going to say simply, again, Mike and Wayne just said, hey, we want to incentivize or reward those that share this with their friends. So if you would like to share this with your friends, that would be awesome. If you refer 4 people to our company, we'll go ahead and waive your fees for doing so. So again, provide value for the $55, and then referring 4, if you do that, it's just an added benefit that you get to waive your fees, not that it's necessary. The last and most important part is edify the next presenter. So edify the next presenter. And here's a key to that. Don't use cliches. Ever. Don't say things like, this person is always successful. Don't say, this person, whatever they touch turns to gold. Don't say, just don't use cliches. Use statements that are real about the person. So if I was going to introduce Billy, I would say, my great friend Billy, he's just been a huge influence in my life. He's a great person. He's a great buddy of mine. We've gotten to travel all over the planet. He's just an absolute fun haver. But most importantly, he's just a really successful guy. I love hanging out with him because he really teaches me a lot about success. And so I just love being around him. He's a great human being. And so I'm just so happy that he's here to tell you guys about the other side of this. So again, be real. When you're edifying the next presenter, be real. Edify them in a way that makes them a real person versus some mysterious sales guy coming up here to pitch you something. So anyway, those are some of the key points. In fact, the only real key points in the entire front half of the presentation. I just want to give this a quick video so you guys have a point of reference. Bye-bye.